Thank you, Acting Speaker, and I rise today to contribute to the Energy and Land Legislation Amendment Energy Safety Bill 2025. And firstly, I'd like to thank the Minister for Energy and Resources and, of course, the Minister for State Electricity Commission and her team for all the great work that they've done on this bill. And it's a remarkable piece of legislation that reinforces that we are the leading edge of this innovative technology and absolutely on the right track for not only Victoria, but the economy, but also for our environment and, of course, our future. And it's generally an honour to be part of a government and assisting in making this and bringing this to reality. We spent a lot of time on this side talking about energy and energy transition and the future of Victoria, because ensuring safety in the delivery of essential services like energy is a top priority for this government, and it goes beyond protecting lives and property. Strong energy safety measures are crucial for building public trust and, of course, acceptance as we transition to renewable energy. And that's one of the reasons why this bill is so important. It introduces reforms that will enhance long-term safety for Victorians and strengthen consumer confidence in Energy Safe Victoria, the state's energy safety regulator. Of course, the bill is amending the Electricity Safety Act 1998, the Gas Safety Act 1997, the Pipelines Act 2005 and Energy Safe Victoria Act 2005 to modernise Victoria's energy safety framework. And it also makes changes to the Land Act 1958 to provide greater investment, certainty for complex projects and unreserved Crown land. So the bill ensures that the framework keeps pace with these changes to manage emerging risk effectively, and because Victoria's current energy safety laws were designed for a centralised fossil fuel network, leaving some regulatory gaps that must be addressed. Of course, Victoria's energy landscape is rapidly evolving, and previous contributions have alluded to that, and I know the member for Eureka was talking about the amount of wind farms that are in her electorate, and I see that because I do drive in from that area each week, and there are wind farms popping up everywhere in the Western District. Of course, the rise of small-scale distributed energy sources such as rooftop solar, home batteries, electric vehicles, that's transformed how energy is generated and used. And of course, that's something that I know Meltonians have absolutely welcomed into their neighbourhoods. And of course, something that I'm really impressed and very proud of, and that is that over 8,280 households across Melton have received either solar home rebates or interest-free loans, which makes it one of the highest in the metropolitan area in regard to the take-up of these products. And of course, it saves something like $1 billion for families with these installation of solar panels, the hot water systems, the batteries, and add that to the saving, the money each and every day on their bills, which is amazing for people in our electorate. And I commend them for doing that and taking up those particular products. Of course, I hope everyone's seen the news lately, and it was spoken about in Question Time, and we had Liam Neeson out in Bacchus Marsh Airport last week doing some filming of his new movie, The Mongoose. Yes, I will rub it in a little bit, but and I won't say he came out there just to meet up with myself and the member for Eureka and the Creative Industry Minister.
Although he did.
But he did. But we were all out there, we all popped out there, and let me tell you about energy. There was a lot of energy out there at that aerodrome, let me tell you about that. And the reason why they filmed out in the Bacchus Marsh Aerodrome, because the background scene of the mountains, they said, was similar to Afghanistan, and that was the scene that they wanted to set. So to the Bacchus Martians, your place is not Afghanistan, but that's why they filmed it out there apparently, so it was fantastic. And of course, it's the third film that Liam's done in Victoria, and he's got more planned. He's coming back next year, and yes, he was very appreciative of what's going on in Victoria in regard to the film industry. And of course, this is adding something like $19 million back into the Victorian economy. But the most important thing was out there was the $2 million that's injected into the local economy out of Bacchus Marsh. And that allows the people at Bacchus Marsh and Melton, the ones that are on the set, the ones that are working there, to be able to purchase these solar panels and batteries and heat pumps and things like that. So for Liam Neeson and his crew and the directors, thank you for choosing Bacchus Marsh and that area for the local community injections of funds in regard to that film. And I've got to extend my appreciation to Vic Screen, Victoria in particular, Caroline Pitcher, for their great work, and for everyone that's working on that movie. I thank them, because I think it's in excess of 600 jobs, Victorian jobs. And then again, that's money that's going into Victoria's pockets to be able to engage with the renewable energy. And again, I'll go back to the figure that I quoted before, and that was over 8,000 Meltonians that have taken up solar panels, heat pumps, interest-free loans, which is fantastic. And it was probably unexpected that that's what would happen. But yeah, it's great that that's what's happened out that way. The bill introduces a suite of substantial amendments that improve energy safe's ability, and it addresses the safety risks, it enforces compliance, and it responds effectively to emerging challenges. And they include new powers of entry with a warrant. Energy safe officers will have enhanced entry powers where there is a risk to health, safety, and of course all the property that does not yet constitute an emergency. It's delivering faster action on safety risks. The requirement for written consent before exercising certain powers will be lifted, of course, and I think that's important. I want to talk about some strengthening of the bushfire mitigation, and that's what this bill does. And I want to go to some information around, and I know it's been raised previously when we've had debates around this energy bill, the previous energy bill in 2023, and this is to do with, you know, as I say, bushfire mitigation. And it was suggested in the past that the CFA won't respond to fires and things like that around, you know, these transmission towers and these transmission lines. But in the information that's come to me, we know that the CFA volunteers have enormous experience, in particular with the procedures that they put in place, and they safely fight fires around this type of infrastructure. You know, they clearly assess the risk before entering any site. It doesn't matter whether it's transmission towers, transmission lines, or any other fire that they respond to. And of course, last year we strengthened the Energy Safe Victoria's powers to ensure operators of wind farms comply with strict energy safety laws and regulations. And this includes submitting detailed safety management plans to the regulator for approval. Of course, owners and operators of wind farms have a general duty under the Electricity Safety Act to ensure the wind farm is designed, constructed and operated and maintained and decommissioned safely. So the CFA are also part of a government-appointed technical reference group ensuring that bushfire risk is considered and assessed when deciding the location and routes of the proposed transmission and renewable energy project. So what I'm saying there is that they're involved all the way through in regard to the planning, design, the routes that they may have to travel into if they have to respond to a fire around the transmission towers, the transmission lines. So, and they have vast experience. And of course, the CFA also developed the design guidelines and model requirements for renewable energy facilities back in 2022. And that provides standard consultation in relation to bushfire risks and safety measures of renewable energy facilities, including wind farms. And the guidelines have received not only national but international recognition, and most other Australian fire services have adopted those guidelines, which is fantastic. The other thing I wanted, and I know I've only got a short bit of time, but the other thing I wanted to refer to was a visit by the Melton Specialist School last year, the Year 10 students out to the big batteries out at Plumpton. And let me tell you, I think there were about 30 students that come out, and I've got to extend my thanks to all the workers that were on site in taking the students around the big battery site, 444 batteries, is my understanding. That battery, the big batteries, will be operational as of this year. The students were so excited to see it, and it just explained to them all about renewable energies. They took up an interest. This is an important bill, and I commend the bill to the House.